Alright, I think that should be good. Let's see. First, stay hydrated. Good. Hello, Xavier, Pastor of Muppets, and, I-Man. Good to see y'all. DLC is out? No, DLC is not out, I-Man. Alright, I forgot you all moan. We're gonna go this way. Poor Loki's always checking things in the ER. Yep, party. That I am. It's a curse, I say. Listen, I don't care about you. Go away. God, you know what? I wish it weren't raining. Could you, like, stop, please? This isn't Weeping Peninsula. Would you do me a solid and not... There's an insect that smacked itself into the TV and got itself squished there, chat. I can't believe I just witnessed that. Any news on DS2 remake? Please. Aye, man. If DS2 got a remake, it would need a frickin' lobotomy first. You may as well just rebuild the entire thing, scrap it, and start from scratch. We gotta put him down, John. The DS2 fans are getting rowdy. You guys going crazy in the FromSoft chat or something about DS2 again? Jeez, all 2 DS2 fans in the entire world. They really know how to kick up a ruckus. Hey, I am good to see you. Alright, I hate this. Where's... Yeah, here. Let's try this again. I'm excited, though. Bunch of anime announcements today. Over in good old Nihon. And the best of them was most certainly seeing that there's a new Black Butler season, which, I'll be honest, I was starting to get skeptical that that was ever going to happen. Kuroshitsuji. All back. BB remake then? Oh boy, if only. I literally said that in the DS channel. I don't know which part, there's only 2 of them in the entire universe, or what? Oh. God, a cloudy day still. Agiel, fix your lake. It never has good weather. We got a new P3 trailer. Oh, really? Did it just drop? Holy hell. Of course it drops as soon as I start streaming. Frickin' hell. Yeah, I'm thinking things over, Chad. I'm thinking things over. There's our knight. Where'd you drop? Ah, there you are. Yes, we got Stormveil. Now I'm assuming these guys all started hanging during Godric's era, because you know, of course, Godric would hang these guys like this, right? That's the assumption I'm making. That's the idea. You have a bunch of people with death roots, so when they die, they turn into, well, that. All hanging from up there. Do you think the Demon Souls remake lowered the chances of BB remake? It's possible, but it depends on what the sales projections were. Did Demon Souls undersell what Sony was expecting? Because they keep on marketing the hell out of it as their promotion. Like, it's always like in their, whenever there's showing like a group of PS5 games, especially exclusives, they tend to focus on Demon Souls as one on the lineup, so I want to assume that it's been decently popular, but I don't know, it could be that it fell short of expectations. That's always a possibility. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand where this fits in the timeline. Because you have all these dead bodies every which way. And I want to say this is Godric's era, right? Because this is the catacomb where you find... Do we have it in here? I don't think we do, right? Yeah, I don't think we have the spirit. Yeah, okay. I want to say this is where you get one of the two banished knights that get buried in Murkwater, if I recall. But then where does that leave everything else? And where does all the water come from that's going both ends? Because this is, it's not coming from the ocean in the center. Because that's a cliff. So that falls down that way. So it has to be coming somewhere from here. But where? You missed what Teen Seth and I were discussing earlier today. I finally looked at the Miro board. Oh, cool. Interesting conversation to check out, I assume, then? Yeah, sorry, I've not been paying attention to the lore stuff as much as I would like today. Kind of distracted by other stuff. Like Black Butler. Bro, you just basically held the crack pipe of anime in front of my recovering BB addict face and said, "Smoke it, bitch." I'm sorry. It's not my fault, okay? BB is one of my favorite, and we're talking about Black Butler, by the way, for those that didn't pick up on that. BB's just one of those series where it's just like, I really, 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 really love it. It's one of the few series where I'd say it benefits from the fact that its mangaka is a yaoi artist. Yeah, the fact she did yaoi actually improves the artwork for the narrative. One of the few times I would say that for a non-yaoi series. P3 equals Persona 3, yeah. Hey, I only noticed that outside the Black Knife Catacombs, a bunch of jellyfish appear only at night. Does this happen in any other area? Jellyfish appearing at night, that is? I think someone mentioned it happening somewhere else, too. But yeah, let's check this out. How does nighttime change some stuff? Yeah, I don't know where all this water comes from still. Understanding water is gonna be the death of me. Because I'm so obsessed with trying to figure it out, the cosmology for this specific element, even though I should probably be focusing on some of the more basic stuff like runes. Okay, so Black Knife Assassin, Catacomb. That's Death Touched. Black Knife Catacomb is up here, right? I click on a Loki stream and hear a discussion about gay porn and storytelling. Yes, very important. Night Scout. This is what happens when you get watch the casual news. You never know what you'll be rolling the dice on this time. DS2 fans causing a ruckus is always a good sign. No, I am. DS2 fans causing a ruckus is always a bad sign. Get your facts straight. Water is 2 elements. Alright, nightfall. They appear in more than one place. Gotcha. I guess it'll be chests in that. Yeah, they appear here. So, it's not like they appear only at night, because we find them in plenty of places during daytime hours, too. These catacombs are another one which aren't on my, aren't charted on my timeline. So we got these. And these. These, though, like I said, could be just... Oh. I forgot you're still here. Now, the ones down south, like I said, they could be something related to Godric or maybe Morgott. Always a possibility. The bigger question, though, are the ones up here. Like, are these all related to the Wandering Mausoleums? Is this just all the people who died? They get their own burial? Let's see. Where else could we find jellyfish? Again, I'm still my working theory still is that these are the spirits of women, not children. And that the question is, for what reason are they here? I know there's some in Stillwater Cave here. Alright, now let's check in daytime. Do you have anything against DS2 fans? I have everything against DS2 fans. They're the reason that all those copies of the game haven't been put in one giant bonfire yet. All 2 of them. Can't believe it. They're holding up all those thousands of unsold copies of a piece of shit game. Sad. Past time. Cool. Bait corn is when corn does a smooth. What the hell are we talking about corn for? To follow up a question from last time, the hero of Castle War made the grafted blade greatsword of his fallen clan swords. Do the blades of that sword match the golden skeleton sword? I don't know. I would assume not, because if the Chinese cut files are to be believed, the grafted blade sword was originally intended to just be a Godfrey sword. Still here during the... Oh, did I just hit... I hit nightfall twice. I was like, oh, we're in the day. Let me just go to night. No. Loki, you're a moron. Oop. They just found a dead body in the bio in a nearby town. Well. I suppose that's unfortunate, chaotic. Hope it's no one you know. Damn, Nart, only one. I'm sure there have been many bodies over the years. Okay, so yeah, these guys come at any hour. Maybe here? Because I misspelled gay porn. Okay, guys, in the future, I guess that's going to be the code now. Whenever we talk about yaoi, we're just going to say Baycorn. Okay, so none here. The fact that I has 500,000 hours of DS2 copies is an achievement. Indeed. Like, where do you get the salary for that sort of thing? No wonder you're so poor for buying video games, I am. You just spent all of them paying for DS2. Are you insane? More jellyfish are on the route to the Valiant Gargoyles fight in the caves along the path. Yeah, we're talking about checking for daytime versus nightfall, though. That's the point, what I'm checking for exactly, Night Scout. So unless you can confirm that those come out at different times of day. Yeah, still nothing. So yeah, it's not like it's every cave or something. What about a catacomb here? Bro, you spending money on DS2? Whack. God, I try not to hate on DS2, but you people keep bringing it up. It's all your fault, chat. You enable me. Liurnia, Lakeshore. I don't think Cliff Bottom would have it. And where do those skeletons even get those swords if the hero took them all? I don't know, you're gonna have to ask the Skelly boys. That's one of those moments where I've always said in the past, again, I think I cover this in my artistic license post in the commentaries. It's also an Abyssal Archive. When you see words like everything, all, like absolutist terms, just always accept that there's probably exaggeration in that. Like, if you find an exception to the quote-unquote rule of an absolutist term, like, don't be like, oh my god, the script is lying to you. It's like, no, that's just how people are. They use hyperbole, especially writers. Can confirm, am a writer. Not Seal Tunnel. So yeah, I would not expect those. I would not expect that to be anything more than, hey, we want to put some skeleton enemies, we'll put them there. Hey, don't we have a lore about how that sword is crafted from all the blades? Well, you can't have gotten all the blades. Lascar Ruins, Scenic Isle, Academy Gate Town. I'm not seeing anything where I'm like, yeah, maybe there's something there with this jellyfish. No, not Precipice Overlook. We want to look for another good catacombs. Okay, we'll try Wyndham Catacombs. I'm going to assume no, I think there's just skeletons here. I try not to talk shit about it, but the fact it exists and people like it infuriates me. Loki, Italian Dark Soul. Dark Souls 2 is best one. Yeah, sure, I am. I try not to hate on, but it's just too easy and fun. Yeah, that's a major part of it, isn't it? It's just so fun poking the DS2 bear. Gotta get some entertainment out of that piece of shit game. The actual game certainly didn't help. Man, to think, almost. This is water. Minor Erdtree. Maybe here? Try here first. Iman said they also do it in Weeping Peninsula. We'll have to check there too. I don't remember any in Weeping Peninsula, but might be Tombs Ward. Wait, where the hell is the exit? Has to be this way, right? Yeah, okay. Not here. Speaking of Baycorn, a friend just sent me a TikTok, I know, but it's funny, of Optimus Prime laying pipe on Bumblebee with zero context. Wait, what? Listen, I don't get all your weird Machina Rule 34, okay? You're gonna have to explain to me what exactly that's supposed to mean. Does, like, Optimus have the pipe? Do you, like, put it in someone else's exhaust pipe or something? How does this all work? When you say piece of shit game, some part of my soul gets smashed. I'm sorry, I am. Don't worry. You have soul memory with DS2, so it'll be fine. It'll always be there. There's catacombs. And then we'll go down to Tombs Ward. There's also the catacombs in the... What's it called? The Impaler's catacombs? Not here. I bet there's an exhaust pipe involved. Like, what do? Do you gotta open the trunk? Is that how it works? Okay, so they're here at night. Or are they here during the day? Listen, man, I didn't ask for the Baycorn of Optimus Prime, Dick, and Bumblebee now. Why are all about the Baycorn? I don't know, because I said Yowie, and then Night Scout had to use the gay porn word, the GP, the BC. No, why the fuck not? Baycorn. Okay, so it happens here. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure the significance of the location. It kind of seems like every other location. I know these aren't here normally, so I'm just gonna go back to Nightfall. No, but like I was saying, very happy with the new Black Butler season coming. Oh, it happens here. Tombs Ward, Impalers. Black Knife. Only at these catacombs too, apparently, huh? Let's see if there's any other catacombs I'm missing on these maps that I should be checking. This is not the direction I expected today's stream to go, but that's how all my streams go. Why am I surprised? Check if the jellyfish are still around during morning. They might vanish only at very specific times, like wandering mausoleums while asleep. Let's see. One under Stormvale Castle. Really? Nope, they're still, they're gone as soon as daytime rises. Okay, we'll check Stormvale. I think we can do it from here, right? Outside Poison Cave. Oh, Iman, do you have a full list, or are you checking somewhere else for it? Oh, so that could be useful stuff to post. Those jellyfish look to be modeled after moon jellyfish. I have no idea of the significance of that statement. I guess you wanna see if it connects to sorcerers. That was a miss and a half. Rip. Wouldn't be a Loki stream if I didn't fall to my death hilariously. Right at the start. We're barely, what, 10 minutes in and I already die of falling. Fine, we'll go the boring way. Hey everyone, how's it going? Hey then, it's good to see ya. Oh, outside Poison Cave. Yeah, we already checked Stillwater Cave, Iron Man. Okay, so it's not here. Poor Loki can't go 5 minutes without falling. Finger Reader Crown, Academy Gate Town. Spirit Caller Cave, no. Yeah, I think that's all the catacombs at least. But I know there's the bears there. Alright, back to what I was actually doing. I forget, chat. There was nothing Ancient Civ related here, right? No, except for possibly the darkness of this bridge? Nah, I think that's just the lighting. Yeah. Now for the actual point of the stream. At the freezing lake, so that pretty much leaves the day-night cycles for the caves and stuff, yeah. But I don't want to just stay on this all stream, so I think we've done our due diligence checking the catacombs, so we'll maybe do caves another day if it becomes relevant. Artichoke. Alright, so, not necessarily Ancient Civ stuff there. We know the Ancient Civ stuff all around here and stuff, right? We already talked about that in relation to the Ancient Dynasty stuff here, right? So I don't care about that. We have a golem here. We have golems here. Liurnia, outside cave near Everjail with the big giant troll. Oh, this Everjail up here, right? Is this the cave? The Academy Crystal Cave, you mean? Anyway. I'm starting to think these guys are all ancient civilization. Oh. The reason being that I'm starting to notice a pattern of finding them a lot of times in places where ancient civ stuff would also be, at least in the region, if not the immediate area. Like, say, the sealed tunnel with the towers and stuff like that. So you got one here. We got magic arrows here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. Do we have magic stuff anywhere else? Now. No Erdtree tiling? All regular tiling, like on the highways for Celia. We have golems here. So the fact that there's non-Erdtree tiling tells me there was something here before the Colosseum. And that thing was probably... That thing was probably an ancient Civ ruin, similar to Castle Morn. Alright, I never opened you. Ancient Civ loves aqueducts as much as Ancient Dynasty. Do all these Colosseums have a America statue? I guess they do, considering how Round Table Hold has that giant eyesore for the Colosseum stuff. Anyway. Oh yeah, then, any Demon Souls fact for the day you can share? Am I crazy, chat? I feel like I've seen this before. I think they're reusing maybe the model, but it's different texturing. Because this reminds me of the archways. But I don't think they... Yeah, they're not as messy with that. So yeah, I think it's just reusing assets. God, this really benefits from using your power attacks. Yeah, I don't think we find magic golems outside of Caelid, right? All right, so then Ancient Dynasty stuff here. Connecting Forbidden Lands to here with the Divine Towers. Again, very convenient how that seems to happen. We know there was some Ancient Civ stuff related here with these bridges. Usually find the golems guarding them all along here. Right? And we find all their corpses and stuff. There is the curious case of the ancient, the golems here, which comes pre-damaged as if they fell. Makes you wonder if maybe there were some ancient golems in Farm Azula, because there's a connection to the ancient Civ, maybe? Maybe? That's the best I can think of for that. We know there's ancient Civ here, from this cave. Possibly here with this bridge, and it was repaved by banished knights when they rebelled. I guess you could say the same here, though I think this might be purely banished knight make. This is purely banished knight make. Again, we talked about the highways that connect these areas, curves around here, heading straight for where Morn is. So there was something here. And it might have to do with why there's some special jellyfish that are, for lack of a better term, older than the others. They're more developed. You know? That Farm Azula connection to the ancient Civ might not be too crazy an idea, because now I'm thinking, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, but Farm Azula's here. So unless we make the argument that Farm Azula took over this and built atop the ancient civilization's culture, it would seem more likely that the ancient Civs did have some connections they could make directly with Farm Azula from here. Something to keep in mind. I don't think we find any ancient Civ ruins here outside of the precipice stuff here. Right? Then we find 2 golems up here, which again makes sense, because again, ruins right here. Then we don't see ruins again until, well, here. And we find some golems around here. We confirmed the golems were repurposed by later civs, so the one on the Stormveil Divine Bridge might be one such case. Yes, but we do find them. We find ruins and golems and things consistently associated with these bridges and stuff. So I do think it's fair. I think it's a fair conclusion to say that they are there intentionally. But yes, we do have to keep in mind, like say here with Lingdell, there may be some repurposing on, like say when they're here guarding the lift here. And don't attack us unless we attack them, apparently. Yeah. So this has Erdtree tiling. That's Lingdell stuff, right? That's Lingdell architecture. But the rest of this is dark stone, similar again to what we see with some of the bridges and stuff. So it's quite possible that a lot of this has been renovated or repaved, right? Hence the clash. That this is one of the last remnants of ancient Civ ruin that's been repurposed as a bridge here. Would also explain why there's this bridge here. Because it already existed, so they kind of just tacked itself on. Good night, Night Nardi. Don't worry, I'll be joining you in Dreamland very soon. Not just guarding the lift, some golems are shooting wandering nobles just outside the Draconic Tree Sentinels gate to Lingdell. Yeah, though it's hard to tell if those are necessarily repurposed. I want to assume yes, because they're in Lingdell territory. But the fact that we have them close here to this bridge, similar to how we have the golems here, close to these ruins, the alternate way up here, leads me to believe it's all connected. And that the idea is that even if we assume these were repurposed by Lingdell, they're purposefully near this bridge in particular. Because this bridge, which clashes much more obviously compared to the Lingdell stuff, may be much older and has been repurposed and renovated a bit by Lingdell. Another possibility to consider on that front is... let's find that Divine Bridge. One golem guards Castle Morn. Yeah, that goes back to my point earlier, Iman, that Castle Morn is likely built on the site of an ancient civilization ruin. I don't know what was there exactly and why the ancient civilization felt the need to build something there, but clearly it was important enough that they did so. Right. Yeah, it's. I think this is using the same model as the Colosseums, this tower thing, but they retextured it. You can tell. Yeah. Now this texture stuff is the same used here, with the pillars and the little green vine pattern there. Yeah, see the same thing. Vine pattern, the columns. So this seems to all be pretty consistent, all things considered. Architecturally speaking. And these are the same thing used in the other divine bridges and stuff too. This here, though, is curious. This is perhaps the best evidence I can find for someone who wants to argue for a great tree that predates the Erdtree existing in this land. Because we would have to rationalize then if all this architecture is consistent with the bridges. And I think most people would date these bridges as obviously pre-Erdtree Civ. So pre-Lingdell. That these reliefs had to have been added by either the Banished Knights / Sun Capital folks, or by Lingdell proper. Because those are the only civilizations where the Erdtree would be existing. It's almost 6 a.m. for you. Well, I am. Why aren't you asleep? Did you just wake up? If so, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I woke you. Is it 4 a.m. for you? No, it's not 4 a.m. for me, I'm in. It's not even midnight yet, so I'm tired. been a long day. I'm also so sleepy. I should have slept for 5 hours ago. Wait, you really didn't? I You better be on holiday. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because the ear tree reliefs aren't on the back sides. And you have to keep in mind, these archways are, these additions here are consistent for all of them. So, like, it's there for that arch. I don't know if there's any further arches anywhere else along this road. I know it's on the arch here in Stormvale, too. So it's pretty consistent. I am, unfortunately. I think there would have to be a great tree, just that people were fascinated by the juvenile Erd tree when it was still mountain size as opposed to full-on Evertree size. The thing is, Night Scout, that would be very, very recent, relatively speaking. Like, I'm saying Erd tree I don't think is around until literally basically the end stage of the Sun Capital. So, not too long before Marika and Godfrey show up. Hence why I'm saying it has to be either them or Marika. I don't think whatever civilization built these bridges had an Erd tree for reference, so no. I can't survive without Slave. I don't think anyone can. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway. Maybe they could magically see the future. That could connect if you want to go with the Ancient Dynasty Oracle thing, trying to foresee the appearance of the Erd tree. That would be the best case I could come up with for that. There's a lot of Erd tree stuff here, and we have the golems walking around near these bridges, right? We don't find any here, though, of either ruins, I think, right? So, that's curious. Yeah, you just have these bridges. There's the broken bridge here, which has the tower built on the other side. Mm-hmm. The Erd tree is colossal, and even the seeds of the Golden Order fundamentalism's founding aren't close to Everest sized yet. The Erd tree may have takes ages upon ages to reach maturity. This is true, but again, it's relatively speaking, I'm still thinking that it's not getting to let's just say it's not getting to like the decent size for like Crucible stuff. I'm thinking, let's say maturity, until I think much later in the Sun Capital's history. Otherwise, Sun Capital, you would think, would have more emphasis on the Erd tree instead of, you know, the sun. So I don't think it got to that size until much later. Now, granted, an assumption I'm making is that it was already approaching that size when Marika and Godfrey were taking over. So that may be where my my logic is failing. Perhaps it was more reasonably tree-sized by that point. So if you destroyed them, if you destroy golems, this guy walking around, these bridges were made, which tells me at the very least, this river and lake definitely existed by the point of the ancient Civ, so that's good to know. Evening, Vincent. called the Frozen River, not the Frozen Rock. What do you think? Does Marika like Bacorn? I don't know. I don't know how she takes her corn. I mean, she's got Godfrey, so... And he's got Sarash, so... She ever wanted to see some Bacorn. You always ask them to cook some up for her. Don't know if she's into Biff, though. So chat, asking you a question. How low do you think these have to be before they're at reasonably the same height as where we're at now? Like, honest question. Do you think this is low enough to be like, okay, there was a tree that was planted here at this level as it exists now? Or close to it? I don't know. The Golden Order accepted the D-Twins, so someone has probably argued Marika is a Fujo online. Yeah, nothing I can do here. You know, I've accepted at face value how they're called phantom trees, but even this is looking like a physical tree that's glowing gold. Am I wrong? Also, oh my god, it's not doing the Sekiro thing. Oh my god. Ow! I was having a moment, Mr. Giant Golem. Meanie. Might not need maturity to do Crucible stuff. The Crucible incantations have a more orange tint to them, akin to the young trees at the Minor Erd Tree and the Icon Shield. At the Minor Erd Tree Church and the Icon Shield. I don't know if the Icon Shield has a gold tint to it, does it? I don't have it on me. 1 second. Gotta sell you later. And sell you later. Wait, do I not have this? No, it has to be somewhere. I'm just blind. I have Sun Shield here. I could have... Oh, there it is. I'm like... It has to be somewhere around here. I also love how I'm too weak to handle any of these shields. It doesn't look orange to me. It looks just gold. And again, this is a stylized depiction, so I'm not taking it too seriously. Unless you're talking about the bark. Even then, I'm not sure if it's necessarily orangey. It kind of looks like, again, more gold to me. Kind of looks like gold mixed with brown. To have, like streaks of gold. Yeah, this looks like streaks of gold to me, not like an orange. But I get your point with the other one, because I do remember the other tree being a more slightly orangey color. But again, that doesn't really say much, because the idea was that the as the Crucible was, you know, feeling its own end, it releases seeds with the Erd Tree's, the Crucible's power. So We could argue that the minor Erd trees just contain a fragment of the Crucible's energy, hence why they appear like that, and it's not necessarily reflective of the Erd tree's own life cycle when it was still a maturing tree. But yes, I see your point. Again, that could give us more flexibility then, on terms of how long the Erd tree was around in the Sun Capital, and therefore how much time they would have to not only for the Banished Knights to adopt it, because we know the Banished Knights adopt it as a symbol, right? We've seen top of the gates, right? So you can, again, I've said it before, Shaded Castle, I'm willing to say, is something that the Erd Tree capital built, right? I think there's enough there for me to say that. But even assuming that, we still have Caria Manor, Stormgate, Stormvale, Redmane Castle. All of these have Erd Tree reliefs above their gateways. Celia Gate too. So I think it's safe to say that the Banished Knights adopted the symbol, right? Plus you add in Fortified Manor, Stormvale, right? All these places use Erd Tree imagery at some point. So I don't think it's all Lanedell. So you could definitely make a case that the Sun Capital and the Banished Knights, it was around long enough for them to consider it an important cultural marker. It's the bark, yeah. Deeper gold, but that gets tied to the Crucible Knight a bit. Yeah, I don't know if it's a different color, if it's a more orangey color. It looks the same to me as the regular yellowish. But, yeah. I see your point. Where's Bob Ross when we need him for color names? Oh, yeah, I know. He needs to tell us the difference between Happy Gold and Retriever Gold. Spoilers, those are both Happy Gold. The Adjudicator Shield. Yes, the Adjudicator Shield, huh? Around, let's see. How many of these golems have armor around their ankles? The one closest to the Kaled Coliseum has some. Oh. Armor around their ankles? Oh, I didn't even realize that. You're right. I just kind of took it for granted that they were all the same, beyond, like, the added, like, magical bits. Yeah, this one's got more damage. Storm Bay Castle. Around areas with big associated with gold, like the Tears America churches, the Amberlight shards, and those phantom trees, has flowers with a similar shape to the ones near the snowfield trees. With similar shape, but not exact, huh? Imagine losing your runes here and you miss them because you just can't see them with all the other glowing gold. Okay, I guess we gotta deal with you. Well, Xavier, you just found another thing I'm gonna have to look to and see if there's anything significant there one day. You are such a pain in the butt. Ow! You are such a pain in the butt. There we go. As I was looking at these phantom trees. Yeah, this is looking a lot more like the Erd Tree now. See, I was willing to be like, okay, yeah, these are kind of more ghostly, but no, when you look really close at them, they really do look like regular physical trees, but glowing gold, much like the Erd Tree, on the outer bark at least, so yeah. Not sure if there's any significance to when or why they glow. Again, this could go back to our This could go back to the point I was making earlier about how the minor Erd trees might have more elements resembling the Crucible, because again they were from seeds released by the Crucible. Maybe these golden ones are more reflective of the Erd tree post Crucible. So that's why, maybe. No, it's the same shape. Gotcha, Xavier. So same shape but different color. Got this one, which sort of just lazing around near the bridge that fell, interestingly enough. Right, and we still have this statue, which no longer glows inside because we took out its insides. Like I said before, I assume this is actually this is from what I'm calling the Saint Civilization. The Saint Civ. Civilization, which I think predates both Ancient Dynasty and Ancient Civ, and were probably the builders of the Divine Towers? Question mark? Yeah, like this seems decently high enough above compared to the others, right? Like that, maybe. That, it's starting to get a little dicey, I think. It's getting a little bit tall up there, right? That's just absolutely unacceptable. Like, that is totally like, okay, that's a little too high for us to believe, I think, right? Am I crazy? Or are they all about the same height and I'm just nuts? No, these definitely look like they're taller. Anyway. Elden Stars, which seems to be the earliest Erd tree incantation, uses a fully golden sigil when cast, so I don't know if the full gold represents post Crucible. Well, I think generally gold is just going to represent Erd tree and like in just generally speaking. Given the fact that because we know that reddish gold is supposed to represent like original or primordial gold, but in that case, it's we should see that reflected in, say, the idea of the golden star that fell down with the Elden Beast and all that. Shouldn't therefore that have been reddish gold rather than, from what we can tell from Elden Beast and, like you said, Elden Stars, simply gold? It seems like the Elden Beast, which you'd think would represent the purest, most powerful, you know, concentrated of the original primordial power of gold, and seems to reflect that in some of its abilities, at least from what I understand for the incantation, should be like that, but it's not. So it kind of makes you wonder. Makes you wonder if the gold takes on, if the gold, like, again, this is talking pre-Erd tree, if the idea is that the gold only takes on the reddish hue when it was first starting out with the the creating new life and all that, and the creating all the different species and everything. And that would also explain maybe why the gold of the dragons is normal gold. Because at first it was just, okay, give life to rock. We create the dragon species, the ancient dragons. Then those dragons start procreating, and with the power of gold, they're becoming rapidly different species. They're developing mutations and things like that, and they're becoming all the different life that we're familiar with. That might be the idea. The poison swamps are going to hell. The trees are going to heaven. You guys are the best. There's nothing else here besides the press. Oh, well, my game crashed. Chat, have we had an Elden Ring stream where my game doesn't crash? Like, I feel like every stream lately, it's been a game crash. I just kind of get that feeling at this point. Hello? Can I please? I think we're just gonna have to hold. Oh, no, it's doing it now. It's doing the thing. I just need to quickly check a few things and then we'll log off anyway, so. Something going on with your PC? Not that I'm aware of. My PC's been working perfectly fine. It's just Elden Ring. It just crashes a lot. I mean, it's been like this ever since I got it. I don't know if it's because of my specific setup. Maybe there's something there that's causing it to crash more. But it's not affecting anything else. I was looking to see if I could find glowing blue flowers with that shape to see if it's supposed to have a correlation to an intensity of a certain element, but I've yet to found some. Have you tried in front of the flowers in front of the Akarian study hall? Because I know there's some bright glowing flowers there, like it's a really bright blue. That might be it. Freezing Lake. I thought we were gonna crash again with that stutter. Okay, no. Anything Ancient Civ related that could be at Seoul? No, not that I recall seeing. Nothing here. This catacomb here is another mystery. The only thing I can think of is it might bury those involved in the God Hunts. And that's why it's in the Forbidden Lands. The idea to keep all that unwanted fire sealed away. Bestial Sanctum, One's Rise, Weeping Peninsula. Whoa, there really isn't that much going on with the golems, huh? I thought they were a lot more prevalent. Cuckoo's Ever Jail. Frenzy Flaming Tower. I mean, the precipice is here. This is another source of water. I'm curious where it's supposed to come from here with this lake and that river here, right? Or what's it called? They call it Seedwater River, yeah. Second Church America. Nothing anywhere here. I want to double check these bridges again. Law of Regression, which kind of seeks returning to the source of life, is pure gold too. Full gold might be the blueprint, and the red/orange tinges for the younger stuff. Yeah, it could be the idea. It could just be that gold is the general blueprint stuff, and the, like I said, the orange might be, again, specifically for phases or expressions. Again, I guess the best way to confirm that. Actually, no, because if we're going with the idea that the Rune of Death is involved in being, like, quote-unquote, the red rune that gives the gold its reddish tinge, it could be the idea that it's specifically occurring in the expression of radical life, because with that comes death, which allows you to cycle through the variability, right? So that might be there, and that it's when it's super deeply tied to life, it also becomes deeply tied to death in that respect. So maybe something like that is to blame, and that's the reason for the hyper-evolution, right? Because the idea with death and entropy is that it ultimately means change, right? You see this with, of course, the Scarlet Rot, right? It's associated with rot, decay, right? It's not something you associate with life, right? If you were to put on disparity binary. But as we can see with all the rot creations and things like that, there's this idea of rot, life, and rebirth involved as well. So sort of like, so Miyazaki is playing with that, so there may be something there related to the whole life and death in general thing. Interesting. So yeah, these, notice how, again, much brighter compared to the stone in the other place we were at. Same basic architecture here, so it seems to be used fairly generically. And you have the Erd tree stuff here. I suppose this could also be an Erd tree retiling, I suppose. That this bridge might be older. That's always possible. Again, 1 second. Actually, let me get its right side.
Entropy.
Exactly, Vincent. Good night, have fun, guys. Good night, I am. You get your sleep. You deserve it. Also, death doesn't really generate life on its own. Separate life might just get its food from that. That's true. Granted, we do see death, again, it's not necessarily on its own, like you said, because obviously Godwin's being used as fuel and stuff with the gold and death light. But we at least do see the idea of death generating life of its own in some capacity. Again, if much like rot, there's this idea of rotting something which, you know, the entropy of something which already exists, breaking it down and then recreating it into something else, something new, adding to it. That could be at play. Not easy getting an angle, huh? I was kind of hoping I'd have a better angle here, but maybe the sun shifted just in time, so now it's this side again. Guess we'll see. Boys, I don't know where you're headed. That's a dead end. I'm not sure you've noticed. Ah, they stopped, that's why. They at the end of their little journey. Alright, we'll just take the shot from here. Then back to here. There are red flowers that can be found in battlefields, such as the one past the Bridge of Iniquity near Lane Dell and near Liurnia Highway North. These aren't the same ones by the trees in Snowfield. Again, I'm going to have to talk to Sekiro Doobie and see what is the viability of the idea I had of creating some sort of automated algorithm or something, which will do most of the work of pinpointing every single item, and maybe, who knows, even asset onto a Elden Ring map, and then allowing us to filter through it all so we can be able to be like, okay, we checked this box, we checked that box, we unchecked that. Because, yeah, I could totally see that being extremely useful for what we're doing. I'm surprised I didn't take damage with Torrent. I was kind of expecting it. Honestly, it doesn't look as dark from here, so it might just be lighting. Might just be a shadow issue. That looks more comparable to what we were looking at before. Just tell the computer to make the fancy map. Yeah, I just gotta have a good long conversation with the computer, and it'll just make it. Like magic. Oh god, I don't have time to deal with you. Go away. Go away, I'm trying to do lore. There we go. Alrighty, chat. Oh, wait, 1 second, chat. Dog was about to go scratchy on the door if I didn't let him in. Sorry, boy. Sometimes I just forget to leave the door open for you. It's not my fault. And sometimes you just want to stay out there, you know? Not my fault. Let's see. Scarlet Rot benefits from feeding on deceased stuff, hence mushrooms, but it doesn't make life appear just by killing. Yes, as I was saying earlier. Also, the Frenzy Flame kind of wants to kill everything, but it's not birthing new life via that. Well, it's not. Its goal isn't to birth life. Its goal is chaos. It doesn't want any order, so everything has to be a big a constantly in flux substance. It doesn't want anything new or anything at least new that we would consider organized. Interesting direction to have the waves. Gotta check something here. Looks pretty similar, yeah. It's looking pretty similar, and I gotta try to compare where those assets are used everywhere, and then see if I'm coming to a decision on if they're like a generic asset that's gonna have to be judged based on the tiling, if it's something that's consistent enough for us to deem a exclusively Banished Knight or Ancient Civ or whatever type of architecture. Just gonna have to see. I know aspects of the architecture is used in the Divine Tower bridges. That's for sure. I liked you better when you were dead. Uh-huh. Now, if I saw correctly, Jen, this is the same archway too? Yep. Okay. Wow, you had this and you kept on using Lothric Royal Family Seal? For shame, FromSoft. By the way, those flowers outside the current study hall sadly aren't the same shape of flower, just the standard glowy blue flower shape. Darn it. Darn it, I was afraid of it. It's kind of hoping we might find a commonality there, but oh well, it is what it is. Uh-huh. Speaking of the city hall. Well, it is in flux, but it sure is in flux featuring or conducive to life. Yep, that's for sure. Right. So the question is this completely built and just happens to be modeled after what we see in Lingdell? Again, could just be reused assets and the similarities are coincidences. That's always a possibility. It kind of clips into the bridge in some odd ways. So I'm kind of thinking... it might have been built simply by the Carians, and it wasn't an existing building they renovated. But that might be my bias. Yeah, see, you can see something similar here that you can see in the other bridges. The rest of it's definitely all. Oh, it's just the right. I was about to be like, wait, is the isolated Melania Tower like fogging or something? No. Okay. Is that golem still there, actually? Check the cliff next to the study hall. If the cliff is level with the bridge, then the cliff may have been where the bridge originally started. Ah, that would make sense, right? That they might demolish some of the bridge in order to replace it with there. What would be a good... Yeah, if it's roughly there, we can at least... I'm going to give it a few meters in case there's like a staircase or something, but yeah, let's see how close. It's a little tall. It is a little tall, chat. So if it was always there, there would have to be something else there. Or a lift or something. So yeah, it's possible this is an older building and it's been renovated then. Very heavily renovated. Oh, it's using the same pillar stuff we see with the Divine Tower bridges. So yeah, that might support it in some respects. But again, that could just be reusing assets. Very possible. Because this is a very unique structure, so they might just take different assets and kind of put them together. We got our statues of the book. Okay, so... Limgrave Tower Bridge. It's a little tall, yeah, but don't the usual Divine Tower gates have 2 flights of stairs you have to climb? I'm not sure if it's 2 flights of stairs, at least none that are that radical. We'll see. It has been a while since I've checked. I'll look after I check this out. See if anything new stands out to me here. I don't care about you this building. Hello, flowers. You're not talking about these, by the way, right, Xavier? These red flowers? Are these what you mean? Just kindly out of curiosity. So yeah, there's no bridge or anything around here, but we have remnants of these golems. Now, we know, or at least I think it's safe to assume, from the portrait in Stormvale, that the Divine Bridges connecting... The Divine Bridge connecting the tower to Stormhill existed before Stormvale existed. And it was a tower, it was seemingly the bridge by itself. We don't have any evidence of anything else being there on the hill before then. So I don't think we can make an argument of, oh, maybe there was something that Stormvale built atop of that was related to the Ancient Civ. It seems like the only thing related to the Ancient Civ would be the bridges. But the bridges are nowhere near here. So why do we still see so many bodies half buried in the ground like this? Oh, we know one of them is like half damaged. So far as I know, that shape of flower is unique. The snowfield trees and areas of intense localized glow, no, they're extremely red. You can see them easily at the Langdale battlefield. Gotcha. Yeah, these stairs aren't going to be enough to justify, yeah. That isn't going to bridge the gap between the bridge height we saw Night Scout and where we land, right? Like, it was way taller than these two bridges here, right? Now we do have, I think, a slight flight of stairs here. But look, notice. I think this is a similar building. No, it's different. Yeah, it's a different building. Got the dragon banners here. Got the Erdtree banners here. With the dragon banners, actually. That's kind of neat. Oh my god, what happened? Did they disable the Sekiro stuff or something? Why is it not going clear when I'm in front of it? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I just can't believe they actually did it. Yeah, okay, so this is similar to what we see in Langdell, but it looks like it's its own thing. But again, just reusing some assets. And then voila, we be here. Hello? Don't go nighttime on me right now. Interesting how this is one of the few things that didn't get like spruced up by Godfrey and friends. I wonder if these golems were here first and destroyed by the Farmazula debris, or if they were in Farmazula and fell down with the debris. Ooh, that's an interesting angle. So you think they were all here, but then the Farmazula debris fell and maybe damaged and destroyed a bunch of them? That'd be an interesting way to put it. I like that. And they could have already been there, yeah. Again, it doesn't really explain why they would be out there versus close to the bridge, so that's still a problem. I guess the argument could be they could be blocking, they could have been guarding the entrance to the bridge. Because it's clear looking at this bridge, just generally, that even ignoring the tower, it's more or less on the ground level with Stormhill, right? Like, you pretty much just walk out here, and you're on solid ground, right? So if we, like, took away all the Stormhill architecture, there would have still been plenty of earth and ground and rock and dirt and stuff that you could have feasibly done. Oh, I never picked this stuff up, did I? Ow. Well. Ow. 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 Worth it, I healed. Alright, let's first open the gate. I never realized I didn't do this on my character. Well, darn, it's not going to appear in the Let's Play playlist. Man, I can't wait to get these amazing items, Chad. A golden rune. A golden rune. And a ballista. 5 ballista blocks! Okay, Miyazaki, you win. That was funny. You win, Miyazaki. Excuse me, sir, I just need to take these ballistas out of your sternum. These little bolts. I see they're sticking out. I could make use of these. Good to see that your viscera didn't damage the arrows. Okay. Yeah, so maybe that would be that'd be the best I could come up with then, is that they were like there as like kind of a guard thing. Though again, kind of weird how far they are from the normal stuff, but whatever, it's fine. Again, could be repurposing golems or some shit. The thing with the half-buried thing, Night Scout, is we could also just say that's just like weathering with time, right? Like, these have been here a long time, and so they have started sinking or, you know, got buried in the earth over, you know, ages, right? You know, like, dust gets kicked up, all that stuff. So I don't think it really necessarily means that they were, like, buried, like, fully underneath there for a while, and then, like, the ruins, I don't know, what's the word, uncovered them. Anyway, apparently the different usable rune items have different names in 1.0. Oh. Yeah, you know what, I remember that. I remember seeing the list for that. And some of them aren't consistent, so that one I wouldn't say has lore implications. Because some of them are like, oh, this is a Lord's rune, even though it's not a Lord's rune. In the final game, the Lord's rune is the different rune, right? It's all a mistake. But yeah, you know what? The proximity of the Farm Azula thing does lend credence to that idea. Because I remember before release, the idea would be that these golems and the ancient civilization they referenced all tied to the temple / city in the sky, right? But now that we put that in context, yeah, you're right. It could just be that they were damaged by it, and it wasn't that the golem we see is damaged from the fall from Far Azula, but rather he was damaged from the fall of the ruins of Far Azula on him and his buddies. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. The ancient golems in a flying city, also you're referencing Ghibli movie, yeah. And a Stormhawk feather the wiki forgot. Hey, Boltoy. Would be funny if that was actually a thing. It's like, oh, look at this, a rune, and what do you know? A Stormhawk feather. Hey, Wiki, could you mention this one too? This area is filled with knights. So we got a lot of our little swordsmen with shields in this area. Now, I currently dated this as being for non-heroes that were helping Godfrey, so we have when Stormvale was first being set up, for the heroes who fought back at the plateau and died during construction as well. Where is it? Here, French folks. Then at post-rebellion, and then post-Stormlord's death. So, like, during when Godfrey's doing his march south down this way, all the way to Morn and stuff. Alright, before I forget. So there's no road connecting Witchbane Ruins and Tombs Ward Ruins. Now, I'm not talking about the highway, which only flows here. I'm talking about the dirt roads. There are no dirt roads for these two ruins. The dirt road only goes from here to... I don't remember if it goes to the Everjail, but I know it goes to America Church and to the Shack. So I think these ruins are incredibly recent and were built for the Wandering Mausoleum here. We find the scythe related to angels here, and we know that there's a connection to winged creatures with our headless friends. And there's this area was used for coffins and stuff from all the leftover coffins in the ruins. So I think the idea was, one was to perform the rituals to make them, and it also explains why these ruins are relatively small. One was simply built to perform the rituals that would turn them all into headless folk. And this was done for, I think, the burial of the bodies, perhaps related to the soulless demigod. So I think what happened was they built two facilities, and whatever reason, this was the area where they first experimented with creating wandering mausoleums, which they then replicated across everywhere. That's what I'm thinking. That would also explain why we get a spirit specifically here to talk about America and her child and all that stuff, right? This is also the area where you get the Godric soldier's ashes. I think it's from a corpse. Let me look. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's from a corpse leaning against like a mausoleum thing here. I like the little graves. Little graves are nice. Oh, I didn't know golden centipedes were here. That's cool. I don't think you're here during the day. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I don't think that jellyfish is there. Look at that, more jellyfish. Yeah, more jellyfish. Didn't even notice. No jellyfish here. Not every pagan grave has a flak top, if I recall correctly. No, when I talk about pagan versus Erdtree Faithful graves, I specifically am referring to just this model. The other ones, we can't know for sure. The other ones is left vague, and I just basically ignore it. I'm just like, oh, are there graves? Are there radically different sizes between the graves? No? Okay, then I'm just going to consider them graves, and just rely on the context of where we find them, right? Like, so like this one could be used for any type of graveyard. This one, same thing. Where's a different one? Well, you know what I mean. All the other ones with the tiny graves and stuff. It's only when we're using this specific model here that I start paying attention to the tops. Because that's where it's relevant, where it's like, oh, there's a pattern here on where we find tops and we're not. You're at Rea Lucaria, you're at, say, Castle Morn, etc., etc. Go next to the crucified guy at night. Oh yeah, there's a crucified guy here. Let's see that. It could just be a Limgrave thing. But yeah, interesting idea. The idea is that, oh, poor lady here got strung up, and now her ghost is wandering around. Alright, let's kill. Alright, turning up the volume. Yeah, I still hear it. Yeah. They still make noise. Jellyfish were women. Yeah. Whether women or children, I'm leaning on women. Weren't the jellyfish specifically children? I know the two we meet are children, but yeah, I believe it's supposed to just be women. I think it's just females. But the best way to do that would be to confirm why we find jellyfish at every single area, and so far I have not found a satisfactory explanation for that. No jellies by the catacombs, if I recall correctly. Yes, we've already checked that. Anyway. I think we're going to call it here, chat. I'm tired. I've looked at a lot of stuff I wanted to look at. I'm pretty satisfied with all that. Thanks for you guys for the pointers, as always. It's always wonderful hearing from my chat, being able to contribute on this. On my ever-evolving research into Elden Ring. Near here, I mean. Do you mean like near here but not at the catacombs? Or oh, I assume you just mean the catacombs near here then. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be ending it now, so thanks everybody.
Bye bye.